Welcome to the Shut Your Mouth
Hey,
Lounge, episode number 168. I am Alex. Addie, don't say anything at all. Pink, say something.
it's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
And here's something.
Yeah, it's like he's wearing something at all.
Yeah. Look
Pink.
at I don't need your advanced clothing.
Oh, that's for just hoity-toity people that don't know where they actually belong, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, so, Pink, what
Yeah.
have you got coming out on your channel this week?
This week I've not recorded any gameplay of anything yet, to my knowledge, but I will be putting out more of the just art videos of just me taking about 20 to 30 minutes to just doodle on a virtual sheet of paper and talk about nothing. So if
Yes.
any of you guys are interested in that, yeah, get hyped for that. Otherwise, you're all kind of screwed.
I mean, I already watch us do that whenever I edit the drawing videos where we draw together. So
This is true. This is very
it's not,
true.
it's nothing new to me. The only difference between when we do group recordings with drawing shit and your videos is that you leave less dead air. So
No, somehow, some way, I don't know how.
it
I
happens.
would think there'd be more.
It happens. I don't quite understand it myself, but I did record a session of Ghost of Tsushima yesterday, and it was a 2-hour session, and for like an hour and a half, I just didn't shut up somehow. So, hey, things are. I'm getting used to actually commentating shit on my own. Maybe.
It's
I mean,
definitely a lot easier when you're doing something you're experienced with, that's for certain.
Yeah, that is true. Although sometimes you still need to think, because like I actually made that episode start off with a Freudian slip, because I was going to say, hey, let's go and talk with Shimura. Instead, what came out was, hey, let's go and sleep with Shimura. Kind of a different thing, yeah.
I don't see where you'd make the slip there, honestly.
Me neither, but it happened.
Alright. So, what you got coming on your channel this week, Pink, is drawing videos, correct?
Correct.
And not much else, you said?
Not much else.
Alright, Addie, what you got going on your channel this week?
Hopefully this week I can actually remember the queue of Ghost of Tsushima, and then I'll start releasing those.
Alright.
That's about it.
Alright. On my channel this coming week, I believe that in the coming week, I have a video coming out on talking about, I think I just recorded one session of Hades just trying to show the game off. I don't think I did a great job, but I did an okay job. And shilling for games that I like is pretty well the whole point of my channel, so hey.
I'll be honest, I've been very, very tempted to get Hades on Steam just so I can record that as well.
I mean, you can just get a capture card and then we can record any game.
I
Like,
could
it's
get a
really
capture card, but you actually can't record with capture cards on the Switch Lite, which is what I have because it's got no HDMI output.
Yeah.
Even if I did have a capture card, I would still have to get Hades on a different system.
True.
Recording Hades can be a bit tough because there's so much dialogue.
It's very true.
Couldn't you add the user that owns Hades to your family's Switch and just record it through that?
That is feasible, but I don't know if I'd do that. Nintendo's kind of weird. If it were something like the Xbox, I would be like, yeah, I can do that, no problem. But Nintendo is very weird about what you can and cannot download on depending on what switches are connected to which ones. So it would probably be more hassle than it's worth. I would rather just spend the $20 to $25 to get it on Steam and not have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how Nintendo does this. Does
Yeah.
that stuff because I don't own a Switch, let alone two. So
Right. There was a thing where, what did I think it was Civilization, where I had bought that for my little brother, and his Switch was also connected to the family Switch, which is really under the ownership of Volcano. And so when I actually went to get the DLC for Volcano, I couldn't because it was on my little brother's Switch, and because it was uh basically designated as owned by the family console, you didn't have an option to download it, and you didn't have an option to buy it. So you were
nice.
just kind of locked out of it. So I was like, oh, well, that's great. And eventually we just unlinked those two accounts so I could actually get her the DLC. And then we all played together, and it was a massacre.
All right. And I guess we should talk about what's going to come out on the channel this week, huh?
Did you say what's coming out on your channel?
Yeah. I mean, I said the Hades thing. I could end up releasing
Yeah.
I could end up doing something else, but I don't know. A few weeks after that, I'm almost guaranteed to be doing something, but that's a few weeks later, not this coming week.
Yeah.
So on the group channel, the FOS channel, we got coming up on Monday, March 8th, King of Fighters 2002 Part 2, me and Addy, playing with some very interesting characters who should have stayed locked.
Yeah, doing the world's easiest infinite.
Yeah. And on March 12th, we try and play Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R. God, that's a terrible name. But the game disagrees with us.
Yeah, let me look up, because there is a. I need to open up a script actually, because I will need to be reminded to actually make this asset for the review I'm working on. But I do name drop Guilty Gear and the Accent Core specifically. Let me find the full name that I gave to it, because like with Accent Core's length of the name, you just need to make fun of it. You have to. Oh, blimey, why did I write a freaking 4,000? Oh, there it is. Okay. So what I will call Guilty Gear Accent Core in its in its full is Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R Turbo EX Alpha / XL8 Levelator 2 and Knuckles Arcade Edition, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. And honestly, half of that is true. Half of that is true. It does have Knuckles and Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
I had no idea.
Blimey. Anyway. Yeah. Pink. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Okay. So, a couple things that I'm aware of. New Smash character DLC dropped this week. It is from the Xenoblade Chronicles series, Mithra and Pyra, who act as a Zelda type character from the old games, in that they are a 2-in-1 combo.
Green Zelda or Chic Zelda?
I beg your pardon?
Green Zelda or Chic Zelda?
Is Zelda green?
Yeah, Link.
Oh, yeah, Chic Zelda, not Green Zelda.
Anyway, continue.
Nobody has
So-
anything to say about Xenoblade.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I've
I
never
can-
played a Xenoblade. I've never heard of a Xenoblade. You know, Shulk has been in Smash Brothers for about a decade now. I still have never heard of Xenoblade.
I mean, I can post a picture of Shulk and say I'm really feeling it, but that's basically all I know about Xenoblade. So
Yeah. It's like the Xenoblade character designs are really friggin' ugly. It's like I thought Shulk's outfit looked bad. The Rex character, who's kind of the tag along with
Oh my
Mithra and
God.
Pyra, he looks like absolute trash.
That I saw that in the fucking reveal, and I was like, oh my God, that's one of the worst character designs I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Okay,
It's
I'm
like he
looking
took
looking
the
this up.
Shawn Michaels assless chaps and kind of blew them up just a little bit.
It's like you
Am I looking
combine
for
Shawn
Pyra?
Michaels' assless chaps with Kevin Smith's ludicrously large jorts.
Yes.
Who am I looking for?
Rex from Xenoblade 2. Oh my God. I can't believe they just get...
Oh! Oh
Yeah.
no!
Yep.
They say I'm
ain't
cute.
pretty.
I know I'm sexy. I got no pants. It drives the girls wild.
Yes. I love it.
Shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Is this the guy who... Shit. Is it... Lie me. Sorry, it's really funny. But, yeah.
And the thing is, since he's a Xenoblade character, he also talked like this, Governor.
So, is this the farmer boy who got sent there from the real world, who like freaking got isekai'd and just like put on whatever the hell was there because he was practically naked or something?
I got no idea, man.
That's the only practical explanation.
Let me check, because there was a character from Xenoblade that was that, I think. Xenoblade, yes, that.
Xenobladder, because it makes me want to piss myself.
Yeah.
The warmth from pissing myself is the only satisfactory feeling here.
Alright, let's see characters. Show me pictures, so that I may recognize this guy. Continue, by the way. if we have something else, then we can move on.
Right.
The cold
So,
anime freezes my heart, and the only thing that can warm me is piss.
Super laser piss.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, I'll show this game some super laser piss.
I'm gonna piss on the moon.
Oh,
Hulk, you idiot.
oh, he'll be feeling it. He'll be really feeling it.
Okay, I need to get a different picture out. So
Okay, Pink, I gotta ask. Did Pyrrha and Mithra continue the Smash Bros. Xenoblade character tradition of having obnoxiously loud death noises?
I actually don't think so. It didn't. If they do, it didn't stick out to me yesterday or the day before. But the more I play, the more I might find that these characters are really freaking loud. But so far, I've not noticed any obnoxious shouting. So we're okay for now in that department.
So Shulk
They do
continues to
have
be the oddball of the roster in terms of volume.
Yes.
all right, let's hope I can post this properly. So Davia does that to
Yeah.
Shock. Super laser piss.
It's the fact that he's T-posing that completes it.
Yeah.
Ah. Alright, anything else, Pink?
Anything else? In addition to that, what else did I do? Oh, Wrestling Empire. Matt Dickey. Long time. What is the word I'm looking for? Creator, I suppose, of the Wrestling Empire series. Started about early 2000s. Terrible wrestling games
Yeah.
that are incredibly zany, and they'd be incredible fun if they weren't so garbage to play. But yeah, I actually got that on Switch. I broke down and said, yeah, I kind of want to get that, and now I have it. It is, it's an MDicky game. It's not great, but the complete random shenanigans you can get in that game, it makes it worth it. So yes, it's a charming delight, and I've been having fun with it.
Yeah, the MDK games are like not not good games, but they are good experiences.
Yeah,
The way
that's
I'd
a
put
good
it.
word for it.
But yeah, there's really only like 2 words to describe MDK's take on wrestling. Powerbomb to cutter. Wait, that's 3.
That's a genuine move. It's been done before, but there are plenty of other crazy things that they had that didn't make sense. Like,
Powerbomb to pile driver.
yes,
Also known as
that's
death.
exactly what I was thinking of. Yes, also known as death.
And then there was something other some other stupid thing. Like, it was powerbomb to like spinning freaking. I don't remember
Powerbomb to
what it.
small package
Yeah,
or
maybe.
O'Connor
But
roll.
well, I don't know what I was going to say with spinning because my brain autocorrected to powerbomb to spinning toe hold, and yeah, that's a move.
That works
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Did anyone else, way back when they had creative finisher in the WWE games, did anyone else fuck around and just have a move where you just put them in every single hold, just fucking juggling them?
I
You
absolutely
you
did
mean
that.
you mean Daniel Bryan's old indie finish?
Yeah. What was the old move that Sami Zayn used to do as El Generico that he deliberately made overly complicated?
Oh no, okay, I was thinking of Sami Zayn then. Yeah.
Okay, I
I
gotta
don't
look that
remember the
up.
name of it.
I gotta look it up. There's a wrestling wiki that lists off like wrestler signature moves. I'm looking it up right now. Okay. Oh, they don't have it. Shit. He used to have like a orange pump handle, lift up cradle, fucking small package, bomb driver, and like just keeps going and going, right? The name.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, if you're gonna do a joke character that turns wrestling into a farce, that one's a pretty funny joke.
Yeah, I mean, at that point you might as well commit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like El Generico.
By the time I was interested in wrestling, he was pretty well already Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that was he was signed probably 2012, I want to say. So yeah, that matches up.
Yep. All right. Pink, did you do anything else this week? Well, actually, I should ask, was there anything especially remarkable that happened in your Wrestling Empire game?
Not yet, because I just got it like a day or two ago. So I'm still in wrestling school. I haven't unlocked very many characters. The ones that I have unlocked have all been customized to represent their actual names now and not their parody ones. So now my news feed should look a bit more authentic.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels beat Gold Builder.
Gold Builder.
Or no, it's Gold Boulder, right?
Gold
Gold
Boulder.
Boulder, yes.
Gold Builder is funnier.
Yeah.
His gimmick is freaking alchemy. Just straight up alchemy.
Alchemy, yes. I like it. So yeah, I've not gotten too terribly far with that game, so nothing remarkable has happened yet. Nobody's died from any drug overdoses yet. Nobody's injured anyone. Pretty standard thus far.
Boring.
Yeah, but that'll change in a couple months. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Everyone will die.
One of my favorite MDK memories. It's not even one that I got. It's actually one that I've seen someone else get. Was when a wrestler died, so they had a commemorative event, and they had a death match. And the death match ended with the player's character dying by going through the coffin. So yeah, Wrestling Empire, everyone.
Those bookers weren't lying. It was a death match.
Well, the great thing with M. Dickey is it's not even kayfabe. The guy actually fucking died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like M. Dickey. A lot of wrestling games have this problem where they are like either just acting straight up like kayfabe, like oh yeah, wrestlers are actual legitimate athletes, just as legit or as boxing or MMA. And in some games, some games kind of acknowledge that it's kayfabe and like, but only like slightly. Like modern day games, they kind of acknowledge it's kayfabe, kinda. MDicky games is like, oh yeah, it's obviously kayfabe. You go and meet with your guy backstage and change gimmicks and change your costumes and things, but also you're legitimately beating the shit out of the other guys in the ring, trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it's like the absolute extreme of both worlds with MDicky.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, all the politics and whatnot backstage, yeah, that stuff happens. But also when we get in the ring, I'm gonna whip out this chainsaw and sever somebody's arm.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Oh, I will.
Hopefully you won chicken out of the dynamite fire match that I set up
Yeah.
against you on the second week of October.
Dynamite is in this game, but the Switch port actually doesn't feature any severed limbs or anything like that. I suppose it was too graphic to bypass any Nintendo censors, so
I mean,
had to keep all the limbs attached.
how else do you add Mario as a playable character?
How is what now?
How else do you add Mario as a playable
Mario.
character?
Mario.
Mario.
That's an excellent point. I don't think Mario would have liked to have his limbs severed, so yeah. They had to make a change for the prima donna, as usual.
Is it a Nintendo censorship thing?
After
I owned a copy of
What's that?
Mortal Kombat 11 on Switch. I think dismemberment is allowed on Switch. There are much
yeah,
worse
but it
things.
would boost up the age rating a significant bit, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. Now that Matt Dickey's trying to turn a profit, I guess.
Right. I actually have no idea what this game is rated. I should double check that just for out of curiosity's sake. I'd like to know.
Adults only.
Adults only. Oh no! What else have they added that I haven't stumbled across yet?
Hot coffee.
Hot coffee.
Going to the strip club with the other wrestlers.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner's the one driving you there. You gotta try and not die.
You thought being invited by Kevin Nash was just going to be another scene, but then you get to the ass grabbing minigame.
Oh no.
You know, maybe you shouldn't be in the showers with JBL.
No.
Maybe.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
Oh hey, it's Pat Patterson.
Rated
Oh
T
shit.
for teen for blood, language, and violence.
Okay, so that's why they removed dismemberment.
Yep.
Did they also remove drug use? Did they make it where the promoters don't try to get you to do steroids anymore?
Now that's an excellent question because it doesn't say drug use at all. It just says blood, language, and violence. So that means there are probably no more steroids, and you probably can't get offered to go out and get drunk. So, oh wow,
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I'm pretty sure Mike has posted images of wrestlers dying from drug overdoses. So I don't know.
Oh.
That's actually a conundrum. I'm real curious now. I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper into this.
Did the ESRB fuck up again?
Like anyone cares.
Yeah. It's just, you know,
The modern day comics code authority.
Yeah. They're just supposed to be there for the parents that won't bother checking on the game for little Timmy. And nothing else, I assume?
There was something else, but I didn't put much time into it. Several months back, I purchased Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story.
Never heard of it.
Is this? Yeah, it's an indie game, and it's kind of like a. I'm trying to find a decent way to describe this, making it sound as mundane as possible because it is incredibly mundane. It is side-scrolling, and it's kind of a not really puzzle, but sort of kind of game where and I've not gotten too far like at all in this. I've got like 20 minutes of it in. So
Okay.
it's side scrolly, it's puzzly. You're kind of you got a little bit mixture of horror as well, and it's based on cyberpunk aesthetics. So that was kind of the main draw, but uh yeah, I have no idea how to really to describe the game, but it's all right. It's okay. It's an indie game. It's not great.
Okay.
um, and final thing is I watched the WandaVision finale.
Okay, I was hearing bad things.
I was okay with it. I think there's plenty to be disappointed with. I went into the show, the entire show, with absolutely no what is the word I'm looking for? I went
Expectations?
in without any expectations. I had no expectations. I didn't create any theories in my head. I just went in with the expectation of whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to think too much on anything about this going into it or afterward. I just want to accept it for what it is and see what happens. And from my point of view, it was a good show from that perspective. I mean, I missed several episodes, but I never completely felt lost. But the finale, I feel like uh it doesn't wrap everything up nicely. Well, in a what's what's a good way to describe it? Typically with all the Marvel movies, you kind of have your end sequences that take care of everything in kind of a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So all the conflicts and whatnot are more or less resolved in the same instance. This finale, it had Vision and Scarlet Witch split up for most of the time, doing their own things. And so you'd have resolutions to conflicts that would occur, but there would still be conflicts going on elsewhere. And so it felt like, okay, this character over here is all done with his thing, and we're gonna forget him for about 10 minutes because we've got nothing for him to do at the moment. But we still have to wrap up this thing over here with Scarlet Witch. So just pay no mind to the fact that nobody else is here, and we're having Wanda do her own thing for about 15 minutes now. But it all makes sense in the end. Don't worry. So I felt it could have been done better with more coherency. I feel like it was a mild mistake to have two differing conflicts kind of overlap and ultimately detract from each other. But overall, I would say it was a good show. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see where they go in the future with this. Uh I guess that's all there is for me to say, to be honest. It's like a lot of people have been saying that WandaVision took two characters that people didn't really care about and made them care. So I'm super happy about that because these two characters are very deserving of that, and it means there's hope for the future, especially with my boy Hawkeye. I mean, it's kind of too late to turn that ship around, but
Yeah.
they can try to salvage it.
What do you bet they'll figure out some dumb moment to do in the show where they have Clint dress in the classic Hawkeye outfit for like one episode, and then he goes, "That was fucking stupid," and he throws it away.
That'll make me cancel everything. Uh, and that was it for my week. I don't believe I did anything else.
All right, Eddie.
Yeah. So, I played like, I don't know, 30 minutes of Remnant from the Ashes.
Okay, what is it about? I have no idea.
Generic darkness monsters.
Okay.
More or less. From what I could figure out, is generic darkness monsters. Also, the Earth sucks. I don't know
Okay.
if I if I should end now or just in general. but the Earth sucks. And that game was very clearly made for like the Arma crowd and multiplayer. And so I didn't really feel like sticking around.
All right.
So other than that, I also played through Final Fantasy VII Remake, which you
Oh,
discussed on the Discord, but whatever, I'll bring it up.
okay.
So I went in just like I went in cautious, I guess, because I've heard a lot of people shit talking the remake because it changed stuff and all that, and it's not the original game. But I still
God
gave it a
forbid.
chance. Yeah, but I also still gave it a chance because I mean I didn't hate Advent Children, and I don't know. I mean, hey, the gameplay seemed fun from the demo, and that was right.
All
So yeah,
right.
so I am disappointed with two things mostly in the remake, and they're kind of linked together. But one is that the game ended because or where it ended, I guess, is a better way to put it. But really, it's just that it ended overall. And also that because of where the game ended, they felt like it wasn't necessary to actually like program Red to be playable, which sucked because like I was like when they introduced Red, he does shit in the background. So I was like, maybe they can justify not actually programming him into the game. Like I was like, if he's there as a story element, but he doesn't actually fight, then I'm fine with that. Like I can work with that. And then he gets into a fight scene and he has all of his moves. And literally the only thing they didn't do is just give you the controls. What the hell? I'm angry.
They
Because Red
probably
Dead
want. They
13,
probably. They
yeah,
probably want to hype that up for the next part.
maybe. But like Red 13 was one of my freaking mainstays in the team. Like honestly, I probably would like if the original game allowed me to change out all of the characters in my team, like it does when Cloud is in a wheelchair. Cloud wouldn't have been in the team. It would have been freaking Sid, Red 13, and Kate Sid. So or Cat Sid. Those three made a really, really funny team together, especially when I pretended that Sid is actually just Cloud. Cloud just got really angry all of a sudden. And he also uses a spear now, I guess.
Spears are
But
very effective.
yeah. But other than that, let's see. I like people like there are a lot of complaints that I saw raised against the remake. Like it's too much advent children words and stuff like that. And I mean maybe, but I don't know because to me most of the advent children stuff was just like updated character designs so they actually fit the art more closely. Like they're not 5 polygons and um the fight scenes whenever there's a baked in fight scene, like there's a cut scene with fights in it, those look like Advent Children. But I mean, if there was anything that was good about Advent Children, it was the music. But if there was a second thing that was good about Advent Children, it was probably the CG. But I mean, if there was a third thing good about Advent Children, it was probably the fight scenes. So
All right.
and then what else? Oh yeah, the actual new stuff. How they try to link Advent Children with Seven. The new plot elements. So I at the end of it all, like I treated Final Fantasy VII remake less as a remake because it's not. I treated it as a supplemental release, I guess. Like if you really want to enjoy Final Fantasy VII remake, you need to play through Final Fantasy VII first. Like you need to get out a PS1 or buy the PS4 remaster or whatever remake or port words. But yeah, like get a modern port of Final Fantasy VII. Play through that game and then move on to Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I feel like that's the best way to actually enjoy the game because a lot of like I found enjoyment in both the new things this way and also the things that they didn't change. Because like I remember the small talk from the original game and how shit went, and I liked comparing how things differed or they didn't. And there's actually like there were a couple of like game design decisions that they didn't change deliberately from the looks of it, or at least I think so. Because originally Final Fantasy VII had a part where you control Cloud on a bike and hit people to the sides because road rash was big or something. I don't know. But they remade that part of the game. There's actually two of those now. But they remade that part of the game very well. Like it's a bit updated still, but it is just as jank as it was on PS1. So for the people who wanted to experience the jank again, or for the first time through modern lenses, I guess, the jank is still there. But they knew that it was jank. So when you complete the game, the first two pop-ups that you get, from what I remember, are congratulations, you beat the game, you have unlocked chapter select. And then the second one is motorcycle parts are now skippable. So, you know.
You can now skip the shit parts of the game.
Yeah. And I also really, like, I was surprised by, like, you know, I don't know if the people who complained about Cloud's character being, you know, edgy and shit like that in the remake didn't actually play the remake or something, because now that it's gone free, I've seen a lot more people talk about how well they handled Cloud, which is to say that he's more like the original game. In fact, he's just straight up the original Cloud, from what I could tell.
Well, I imagine he doesn't say as many stupid things as original Cloud did.
It depends on what you consider stupid, but yeah.
Is there no Let's Mosey?
Oh no, there is no Let's Mosey. I don't remember Let's Mosey being a thing, because yeah. But I actually really did like how they pulled off like Cloud being like Cloud, like words. But yeah, I really liked how they like gave a character arc to Cloud, which was there in the original game as well. But I don't know. I don't remember quite all of the freaking the dialogue in the original game, so like I couldn't compare it one to one to check if the freaking original did Cloud's arc going from a freaking edgy loner asshole to actually having friends.
I thought Cloud was always kind of a dipshit. Wasn't his whole thing just gaining his memory back?
No, well, he started off as a like he started off as a gruff like mercenary, or wannabe gruff mercenary, and then as the game went on, he warmed up to Barrett and Tifa, and then they actually like as you found more characters. Like that actually it's just in Midgard, I think. So they did that right. But in just going through Midgard and like getting help from Barrett and Tifa and Aerith made him open up more.
All
Which
right.
I mean that was like, I don't know, 20% of the game, so you know he wasn't an edgy asshole for long. But
Yeah.
he's not an edgy asshole in this game either. Well, not for long anyway. So one thing that I guess I do need to point out though is, if you really hate like anime gasps, don't play Final Fantasy VII Remake, because that's like 90% of the dialogue.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Like in some cases, it makes sense because, you know, there are like things that require reaction and stuff like that. But like, I don't know if they really needed to. There's a lot of ambient just like noises people make whenever they're in cutscenes. Is the best way I can put it. Like it's not even just gasps, but like I remember there being this. I don't know. There was this like 5 seconds of a cutscene went to just different members of Avalanche doing like noises at each other without speaking, and just they were just gesturing and doing voices, or like freaking doing sounds. it it happened, I guess.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Now to actually talk about the gameplay as well. I don't like the new material restriction, but that's just because the way they set it up in the old game, I could make everyone into a mage. I didn't need to have a designated one, and that worked out for me. And in this one, that's still kind of true, but not really. But that's all right. Now, the big part that I actually want to praise is the combat mechanic, because to me it feels like Final Fantasy VII Remake might be the closest we can get to Kingdom Hearts doing a Devil May Cry.
Okay.
So there are no air combos, which is why I'm saying that it's the closest we get. Because well, technically
Kingdom
there
Hearts
are
had air combos.
true, but I don't know. There are air combo. There is the one, but
You get a combo.
yeah, but
No
you
more. No
don't really get
less.
variety with them. Is my issue with the air combos. For me, the whole thing of Devil May Cry is just having a lot of tools both in the air and on the ground. And while Final Fantasy VII Remake is a lot more strict about that, there is seeds of that, at least in the way the combat mechanic works, and it can get fun once you unlock enough special abilities with the weapons. You can actually get a move set, and beating people up becomes really fun.
Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't really like was that the parry mechanic is a materia, but that was a thing in the original game as well. So hey,
Heh.
I can't complain about it too much. But yeah, I liked Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, I wasn't sure if I would actually like it because, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, even in the original game, I was like, okay, it's a game, but
Heh.
and that didn't change too much, honestly. But playing through part one of the remake, it does make me look forward to part two because it means that I will get to play as Red 13 and KC.
Heh.
Oh yeah, they did actually tease Kate Sith, now that I think about it. And I remember a couple of months back there was this freaking tweet. I don't remember how I came across it or why, but there was this tweet from a guy who does 3D modeling, and he was talking about hair and how I think it was about how he hopes that the next generation can do hair even more justice, just like not being static and shit.
Yeah.
And he brought up pictures of things he worked on, and one of them was this cat with a crown and a cape. And I'm like,
Heh.
I know that cat. Where do I know that cat? I know for a fact that I have seen that cat before. Why? And I saw the scene. I saw a scene in this game, and it was that scene. It was Kate Sith. That's
Heh.
how I knew that cat. Uh, yeah. Let's see. What else did I do? Well, I don't remember. Did I ever send y'all the first time I tried to draw Sonic?
Yes.
And that okay. So I redrew that with my current expertise, which isn't much, but it's. I'd say it's better. I'd say I've improved. Pink. Okay,
Well.
Pink. I mean, the eyes need a bit of work overall, but and the fluffs, the fluffs around the gloves.
Oh.
But the mouth looks like shit on purpose.
All right then.
I mean,
What would compel you to do this?
compare it to this. So that's the original. That's the original. So
All right then.
what happened with all of this is that originally when I started drawing this most recently, well, we did need a freaking thumbnail. I did want to do a thumbnail for us playing Sonic Adventure 2, and one of the concepts that I had was Monster Sonic chasing us. So I tried to draw a Monster Sonic, and that's the second picture you see, which is the first version of this.
Okay.
And this time, I tried to recreate something similar, but while actually trying to keep him on model, which I think I did a pretty okay job at overall.
All right.
Anyway, we don't need those. Uh, and aside from that, I'm gonna post this in a different freaking tab just so y'all have to switch over. Ha!
Oh no.
I did also draw a new avatar, I think, with the new design. And I
All
mean,
right.
I didn't go into freaking like explanation because I figured y'all can see, but then I remembered I remembered after we recorded the last podcast. Oh right, people don't see the shit that I post.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. So yeah, but basically the design differences between this iteration and the last one is that I made the eyes smaller because I wanted like getting to a phase where I want to consider practicality as well as the design. So like I want to make something that if I can hopefully pull off like a mask that can move with my face somewhat, then I want it to be able to actually emote and shit. And I don't know about you, but like 80% of the face being eyes, which will be like a hard plastic or something, yeah, it doesn't really lend itself to emoting much. So that's the reason behind me shrinking the eyes like to the actual like normal size.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just trying to like actually make it more proportionate to what a real like it's but it's in this it's freaking words. It's in this weird spot where I'm trying to make it more proportional to what a real wolf would look like, but at the same time, I'm also trying to keep some of the cartoony aspects because, I mean, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that turned out nice. I
Yeah.
like it, actually that is something that I guess like I could point out is that like one of the things that kept bugging me whenever we drew on recording and shit is that like when I do stuff fast and like before like even when I didn't, I used really heavy lines and shit like that, which made things look more cartoony and that fit. But as much as I like actual like as much as I like cartoons, I also really like the anime aesthetic. Obviously, I'm a freaking weeb, but that uses very thin lines, and I actually kind of prefer how like I okay, it depends really. It depends on who does it, but I feel like the thin lines can look better than the heavy lines overall. So I'm trying to train myself into actually using thinner lines so that hopefully maybe someday I will be able to draw nice with them.
I think the difference between thin and bold lines is really up to personal preference. Uh,
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
a lot of people use like a mixture. Like for facial features, you usually see thinner lines, but when it comes to body proportions and whatnot, like especially if you're drawing muscles, you'll use a lot more bolder lines, make everything
yeah,
look thicker and more dense.
yeah. I'll try to keep that in mind because that's useful information.
Cool.
Hopefully with freaking varying edge thickness or edge. Varying line thickness. Yes, varying edge thickness. Depending on the day, I may be very edgy or not edgy day enough, really. Freaking hell. Yeah. With varying line thickness. Like I could maybe try doing it, and I have tried doing like things like shifting in their weight depending on like the shape. I guess is the best way
Yeah.
to put it. But I will actually need to learn how to not like put all of the pressure on the pen whenever I draw upwards and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, actually, now that we're talking about drawing, there's something I've been meaning to ask you, but I always forget. So,
Yeah.
Pink, do you know how to freaking do the like comic dot shading?
I don't, but I could figure it out.
Okay, then could you? Because I've been trying to, but I can't.
Yeah, I can look
Thank
into
you.
that. It's probably gonna be pretty easy. There's probably already a filter or a filtered brush that can do that. It's just a matter of figuring out which one. So a quick Google search here and there, I'll probably be able to find that. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
And then I guess as a closing thought, I'll freaking go on to complain about things. Hey, life's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Uh, you know, my middle sister keeps mocking me for being a furry, which I mean, fair game. But but like she bought me a freaking squeaky ball because you know you're a dog, so you'll like it. Never mind that the freaking the water is about to be turned off. Now that doesn't matter. Buy a squeaky ball. Ah, shit. But yeah. Uh, so to go into the actual issue that I wanted to bring up, which yeah. So remember how I complained about having headaches?
Yeah.
Those never
Yeah.
went away. Those never went away. They're still
Oh.
here. Yeah. I hope that if I would ignore it for long enough, it would just go away, but apparently not. And I don't know what to do. Really, I'm just. Oh, that does raise a question though, because I've told this my mother and she said that was weird. So do people usually not freaking argue with themselves in their heads?
No,
I don't know. I argue with myself all the time.
I think
In my
everyone
head
does.
or just out loud.
I think everyone does that unless they're just like stupid.
Okay, then because I figured it was a normal thing to do, but like she she was surprised by it. I don't know.
To be
Things
fair, she
have
may
been
not have known
yeah,
what you were talking about. She may have assumed that you were saying you have multiple personalities in your head arguing, which is different.
yeah, that is true.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure of it, but Tom isn't, and Tom's been talking in the back of my head. And Binky just keeps playing The Sopranos on rerun. I don't know what's going on with that.
That reminded me of the freaking Binky Bill. Have y'all heard of Binky Bill?
No?
I have not. What is
It,
that?
it's an Australian cartoon, and I don't remember how it got here or why. But wait, is it Blinky Bill? I don't remember. We'll see. It is Blinky Bill, I think. Yes, because hey, did you know the anthropomorphic animals? Blinky Bill.
Yep, that looks like a kid's cartoon to me.
Yep, it's just an Australian
You look
kids
like a
cartoon.
jerk.
He was Koala Dennis the Menace.
Ah, makes sense.
like, like, oh bloody hell! I just noticed this while actually saying it, but apparently I can't say Dennis normally when I say that character because I say I say Dennis the same way I pronounce menace.
I think you're
Dennis
supposed
the
to.
Menace.
Okay, I don't think you're supposed to pronounce menace as menace, honestly.
No, I was exaggerating.
Okay.
It's Minachi.
Yeah, it's Minachi. Dana Minachi. He's French Italian.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, blimey. So yeah, they, things like I don't know. I keep thinking that things are getting better. I mean, they are overall. Like I'm as I've said, the freaking the whole I don't know what to call it. Like the the way I had to freaking cut myself into pieces as my last resort to actually understand things is is still steadily going away. So that's nice and stuff like that. Like I am overall feeling better, but like sometimes it still hits me pretty hard, and I don't know. Life. Anyway, that's all I've done.
All right. For my week, I didn't do a terrific amount. I'm trying to read The Hobbit again. I was trying to go ahead. I did get the entirety of the Tolkien universe books for Christmas. I was reading through The Hobbit when schoolwork started, and that really, put a stop to that. So I'm trying to pick up where I left off. And boy, The Hobbit is a bit different. I mean, obviously The Hobbit was intended more as a children's book, whereas Lord of the Rings is more kind of a war epic. But I still find... This is the one anecdote I've got to have about it before I move on. Which is, at one point, there's the point where they get... Bilbo and the dwarfs get captured by trolls, right?
Yeah.
You know what the names of those trolls are?
No.
I don't have a clue.
I would think, trolls would be named something in Orcish or Dwarfish or something, right? No,
Right.
the trolls' names are Bill, Tom, and, William. And I was, surprised that, they just talk like relatively normal people. They're stupid in some of the things they do, but they just talk normally. And I don't think that's how Peter Jackson handled those trolls at all, is it? Or was it? I can barely remember.
Probably not.
Tom Bombadil is my favorite troll.
Yeah. I haven't got to him yet, but he'll come eventually. Tom Bombadil is neither late nor early. He comes exactly when he means to be. The other things I've done this week, I have finally got around to starting up The Evil Within 2, which I also got for Christmas and also was not able to play. Though in that case, I don't blame school so much as I blame the weather, as my bedroom is kind of isolated from the rest of the house. So the thermostat has no idea what temperature it is in my bedroom, and so a lot of times my bedroom will get colder than the rest of the house. So I have to have this heater running in my room. And if I have my computer and the PS4 and the heater running at the same time, it blows the fuse to my bedroom. And have to go down to the garage and flip the fuse to fix it.
I think I had a problem exactly like that a few years back.
Yeah, it's not great, but hey, winter's coming to an end. Finally, we're getting reasonable temperatures, so I can play PS4 again. Yay!
Yay!
So, The Evil Within 2. It's already off to kind of a better start than Evil Within 1. But in the same way, it kind of starts the same way Evil Within 1 does, honestly. Because they both kick off with a little, real-world intro, and then you get sucked into the Nightmare World, and in the Nightmare World, you get, 30 minutes of playing with no weapons, just running away from monsters and so on. Both Evil Within 1 and Evil Within 2 just straight up do that. But Evil Within 2 is already a lot better about it. Evil Within...
I don't know. Do you get to dropkick zombies in a cutscene in Evil Within 2?
Draw what?
Dropkick zombies.
Oh, I forgot that happened! That's so fucking dumb. So, if Evil Within 1 was Shinji Mikami ripping off Silent Hill 1, Evil Within 2 was Shinji Mikami ripping off Silent Hill 2. Actually, I don't know if Shinji Mikami worked on Evil Within 2. This may have been the one that he handed off to, that chick that everybody loved, who did the Bethesda conference. Whatever, she's already doing a better job than Mikami did in that case. So... Evil Within 1, you start out in this horrible butcher shop nightmare where everything's rusty and it's industrial and so on and whatever. Which is straight up Silent Hill 1. And then Evil Within 2, it's oh, it's a creepy hotel and everything's wet for some reason. And it's yep, that's Silent Hill 2 for you, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
With that said,
turns out what's his face drowned his wife in piss.
Yeah.
Super laser piss.
No! No!
No, I've got a better one. He puts a call out of all of the monsters on his Twitter.com. for pissing on his wife.
Okay, I hate to interrupt the joke, but Soon is talking to me on Steam. Do I want to ask him if he wants to play Smite in a bit?
Sure, go ahead. I think I've got time today.
All
I'm
right.
up for it, sure.
So, there's already a better scare in Evil Within 2 than there was in all of Evil Within 1, even if it didn't actually scare me, but I just liked it. Is that there's a part in that early hotel section where you look down a long dark hallway, and at the very, it's just kind of an ambiguous darkness in the hallway, and then it turns out to be a giant eye that just opened up an eyelid, looks at you, then closes, and when you actually go in the hallway, it's a regular hallway.
Nice.
So I thought that was nice and freaky. After you get out of the hotel segment, the real game effectively begins. And they designed Evil Within 2 with an entirely different gameplay structure than Evil Within 1. So Evil Within 1 is structured like a Resident Evil game. The game is structured, well, it's structured like Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5, rather, where you go through a series of levels called missions, even though they're not really missions, they're just smaller parts of a larger adventure, but whatever. And I think you get score and everything, and it's just going through these pretty well corridors with slight deviations, right?
Yeah, from what I remember.
Yeah, and much like Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5, it varies what... Evil Within 1 had a problem where sometimes it tried to be slow horror, and sometimes it tried to be action set-piece horror. And it really, really, really had a tone clash going on. I think it was one of the biggest problems Evil Within 1 had. And the action set pieces did not feel good, because the gameplay was clearly not designed for action. But you can tell Bethesda would have, at some point told the developers, hey, this game does not have enough action set pieces. This game's gonna be a fucking launch title. We need some action set pieces. Sony demands some action set pieces.
Quickly pour some Uncharted into it.
Yep. Get some of that Uncharted juice all over it. Ooh.
Oh no, too much Uncharted. Now Nathan Drake is in the game.
Yeah. Evil Within 2, once you get all that tutorial stuff done, it just plops you down into a fucking town. Like a small, quiet town filled with monsters. And it's like, alright, asshole, go, find your daughter. And it's like, okay, well, this is entirely fucking different. It's a kind of free roam horror game, but like, Silent Hill always had that thing where you get plopped down in Silent Hill, but it wasn't like, Silent Hill never felt like a free roam game, because there was always pretty well a definite direction to go, and there were really only one or two paths off the beaten road, and they were very short, right?
Yeah, although I'd still say that Silent Hill qualifies as a free roam horror game. Well, Silent Hill is as much of a free roam horror game as you should get.
Yeah.
is the best way to put it.
Yeah, but the only two optional locations are the grocery store with the, there was a hole here sign, and the other one is that little passageway with the monsters that lick your toes.
Yeah.
Evil Within 2? Oh no, it looks like Evil Within 2, like, all the buildings can be entered and looted. All of them. And most...
the Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, and most of them have at least some kind of story going on so far. As far as I've gotten in the game, which admittedly isn't very far, I was sneaking up on a zombie just yesterday when I was playing it, and the zombie very abruptly just turned 180'd as I was stealthing, and I was just like, alright, fuck you, game. No, I'm done for today then. So I just shut the game off. That is my number one pet peeve, when stealth games do not have an indicator that an enemy is about to turn around. About to do a 180, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Metal Gear, it's pretty obvious when they're gonna do it, just because Metal Gear enemies follow very obvious, like, patrol patterns. Assassin's Creed, you'll never see that happening because the enemies just stand around. Hitman doesn't really rock that kind of stealth. You don't really worry about that in Hitman. In Hitman, you aren't trying to pay attention to whether or not they're looking at you. You're trying to pay attention to what you're wearing.
Yeah.
The other two games I put time in with this week are both games I've put time in with previously. I guess I should go ahead and get out of the way Total War Warhammer 2. Total War Warhammer 3 is coming sometime soon. I am trying to finally beat a Total War Warhammer campaign. I'm trying to beat the main Vortex campaign as the High Elves. The Vortex campaign, by the way, is the one that is available for everyone who owns Warhammer 2. You don't need to own Warhammer 1 to play that campaign, as opposed to the Mortal Empires campaign, which allows you to play... it's one of these things that... Okay, so Warhammer 2 has its base campaign where you have the Americas, you have Africa, and you have their made-up toilet seat continent, where the elves are from. Warhammer 1 had pretty well Europe and the Middle East. If you have both, you get to play the Mortal Empires campaign, which combines the two maps into one. And come Warhammer 3, if you only own Warhammer 3, or if you only own Warhammer 3 and Warhammer 2 or Warhammer 1, you can only play with Asia, Warhammer Asia. However, if you own all three Total War Warhammer games, then you get the entire Warhammer world, basically. So,
Nice.
Creative Assembly has out and out acknowledged that the Mortal Empires campaign in Total War Warhammer is a little bit, it's grander in scale than anything they had tried to that point, so things are kind of jumbled. Soon says he's got to go to work.
Alright.
And it can be a pain in the ass to get anywhere, so it's a bit of work in Mortal Empires, and because there's so much going on and so many races at the board, it can be a bit... anarchic. So I decided to go with one that's a little smaller scale, the Vortex campaign. And I'm making good progress, actually. I've conquered Canada, which is a big hurdle for the elves. And the only other thing in particular I want to say about it is, well, other than fucking rats, I hate the fucking rats in the mountains. Goddamn Skaven. The other thing I've got to say is, I've always had a problem in Total War Warhammer with battles where there's more than 4 armies present. Because it gets to be a real big clusterfuck of just it's just a puddle of blood, basically. Everybody killing each other. And I lost pretty well. I started just basically hitting the auto-resolve button on all battles that featured more than 4 armies. And auto-resolve, of course, is where you just let the game resolve it based off numbers. And it's not a good idea to do that for any battles that's even slightly even. Because the game weighs it in favor of the AI to discourage you from doing that. But I was getting so pissed at those big clusterfuck fights, I was just auto-resolving all of them. And losing lots of big battles that would have really helped me if I had won them. So I went, fuck it, and I went and asked on the subreddit, the Total War subreddit, hey, when I don't want to play these battles, what do I do? Is there some kind of trick to make these easier or something? And, I had it explained to me something that I wish Total War was a little clearer about. Okay, so when you have more than one army in a battle, you have this little checkbox on your UI that says, Control large army? And it starts off by default checked as yes. And if you have that checked, then you can control up to 40 units, which is a fucking lot. And any excess of that will also just go ahead and start out on the field being under the control of the AI. Which is bad on its own because the AI in this game is quite dumb. However, I figured that if I uncheck that, it would just make it so that the AI takes control of anything that's in excess of 20 units instead of 40 units, right? Because that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently that's not how it works. If you uncheck control large army, it makes it so that both sides can only have 20 units on the field at a given time. And every time a unit of yours dies, one of the reinforcement units comes on from off-screen. Which, at first I thought, man, that sounds like it'd be really dumb. I'll try it anyways. And then when I tried it, I actually really liked it. Because it gives a more orderly way of handling those things, especially with the crappy reinforcement features in Total War Warhammer, which are a whole nother thing to talk about. But also, having your units come on after you lose units in the army you already had gives it a real kind of, reinforcements feel, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't have any cavalry in that battle. It was just all archers and spearmen. But if I did have cavalry, it'd probably feel like the Battle of Pelennor Fields from Return of the King, and that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And the last game I've got to talk about, and this one I'm going to talk about for just a little bit, but I want to hear Pink's take on it, particularly if he's made any progress on his own. I got another successful run in Hades, my 3rd time beating Hades.
No! I still have yet to get one!
Okay, you want some advice for a good, just good straight up build to fucking kill the fuck out of Hades?
Yeah.
Okay, so try and get an Artemis boon. Give her, get her little keepsake she gives you that increases the chances of her appearing.
Right.
Get her call, and then, because her call is, you shoot out an amount of projectiles appropriate to the amount of God meter you've got whenever you activate her call.
Okay.
Each shot deals very high damage, it homes in on enemies, and it has a 35% chance to do critical damage, which doubles the damage.
Right.
And there's another boon that Artemis offers that increases all critical damage by 50%.
Cool.
So on that 3rd run, I also picked up a pomegranate seed to boost the damage of the call itself, which shot it up from 120 damage to 180 damage or something like that. Per shot.
That's a lot of damage.
Per shot.
Yeah.
So
man.
If it actually hits that 35% critical chance, then that means that it goes up to... It's up 150%, so that's... Fucking, oh boy, that's 360, what's half of 180? That would be 90? So
90.
360 plus 90, and 450 damage per shot if they get critical. Which at 35% chance, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I also got a Demeter boon on my special. I was using the fists, by the way, so... A Demeter boon on the uppercut, and a Zeus boon on punches. So what I would do is, I would go up, I'd punch Zeus to make him electrified, I'd uppercut him to make him cold, I'd stick my casts in him, and then I'd just pop Greater Call, and it would just delete half of Hades' health meter.
That's awesome.
Probably the only time I've beaten Hades without using all of my death defies.
Oh, man.
That game is really good. I've still not got anyone's character as... I've still not got anyone's, I guess, social links up to full yet. I'm really curious what rewards you get for that. I think I've got everyone's keepsakes, except for there's apparently one NPC I'm missing. But it's...
Oh.
He's still not got an entry in the journal, so I don't know where the fuck to find him or her. I have no idea. I have no idea who it even is. So, since I've not even found this person, I'm just pumping all my, I'm just pumping all the nectars into Achilles now, because I want to see what he'll give me at the end. And so far have not got there, but nonetheless, Achilles has a very interesting thing. So, have you, okay, Hank, you said you've got all the weapons, right?
Correct.
So you can see the alternate aspects?
Yes.
Okay, buy all the aspects of the spear and then go talk to Achilles. And Achilles will introduce you to the hidden aspects mechanic.
Oh.
Yes. Just go ahead and, I don't know if you want to go to... I don't know what way you want to get Titan's blood, but get some Titan's blood, pump it into the spear, into getting all the variants, and then talk to Achilles. And the fucking... I gotta say, I'm real sad I was spoiled on this one. Because the reveal of the hidden aspect is like... I am fascinated to see your reaction to the hidden aspect, because I haven't got to see the hidden aspect of the other weapons. I forgot. I was spoiled on them, but I forgot what they were. But the spear's hidden aspect, I 100% remembered, because as soon as I saw someone mention what the hidden aspect was of the spear, I was like, oh, fuck, I need to get that as soon as possible. And I spent the Titan blood to get that fourth hidden aspect of the spear. I'm not going to tell you what it does. I'm not going to tell you who the aspect is of the spear. But what I gotta say is, yeah, the hidden aspect for the spear changes everything with the spear. It changes your entire playstyle. So now I want to just grab as much Titan blood as possible to unlock all the other hidden aspects. Those weapon upgrades with Titan's blood are fantastic, but Titan's blood is so hard to come by.
Yeah.
I really want to get to the point where I unlock all the stuff on the mirror, so I can just start giving chthonic keys to the broker Shade, whatever his name is. Shade Broker, there you go, Shade Broker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I really want to start seeing what I can get from that. Oh, I also got Orpheus to sing. I won't tell you how, but it's actually worth it. I really enjoyed that.
Okay. Nice.
I love Becca's wounds.
Yeah. Just load him up on liquor. Not even Dionysus. Bacchus.
Yeah.
I've gone forward in time and got his Roman variant to help, because the regular Dionysus is just too much of a prude.
No, just get so drunk that you can't tell the difference between Roman Dionysus and freaking Greek Bacchus.
Ha! Alright. So,
love it.
That is the extent of what I have done this week. Do we believe we could call that a podcast?
I think we can.
Maybe. Perhaps.
But no one said bye yet.
He just did.
That doesn't count.
Oh, what a plot twist.
Do it.
Do it.
Say bye, Eddie.
I'm sorry.
Ah!